Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Connie with Prairie Paper Crafts. I'm going to be sharing with you a paper piece that I'm putting together. It's called Painter Bear. It is from Cuddly Cute Designs. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and get started. I don't remember the exact sizing I did on this because so far I'm putting it on an 8.5 by 11 paper piece. That may, or excuse me, layout, but that may change. So I would say just size it to whatever works for you. I did do a few changes. Well, one change that I'm going to show you right here on the sign that I did. I, first of all, if you want to leave this brown piece cut in, just hide your shadow. It might make it easier to glue. That's up to you. But what I did was I had my Cricut draw the word or the letters in with black pen. And then I came back in and colored it with red colored pencil because I don't have a fine enough marker that I could manage that. I did originally have my Cricut draw the letters with a red pen. My red pen is not like a, it's just not a nice red pen. So I did go back in with black and redid it. And then I just took a piece of very fine wire. I'm sure you can see that there. And then I just put some little glue dots, and I'm not sure I'm going to do something on top of these yet. I don't know what exactly, but we'll figure it out. I might go in and just put a brad or something in there. And then I just pop that on, and it's just fine wine, wire, excuse me, wine. Yeah, I wish I could have some wine today. I've had it forever and a day, so I don't know where I got it or anything. Got several different colors, so I thought I'd use it. So there is a black paper piece of V that you can cut out instead. Just thought I would share that quick with you. But I'm going to go ahead and get started on my pieces, and don't have these split out, of course, so bear with me to find everything. Kind of shake them up a little bit. You can see it all. And first of all, what I'm going to do is put the easel together. This is the back piece, and what it'll do is make the leg, the back leg, and it just lays on top of there. So get some glue open here. And I have, if you're new to my channel, I struggle with glasses, so I'm really sorry. Um, but right now I have my pair on that I can't see my computer screen very well, so I can see what I'm doing in front of me. So I'm hoping this is in focus and everything okay for you. And I'm going to try to get through this without coughing too much. So if there's a short pause in the video, that would be why. I'm having some serious asthma problems. Okay, so you just want to put glue, excuse me, on these two outside legs. Or if you're doing it on this piece, it would just be this one and this one. This middle piece is the back piece, you don't want to glue that on. And then what you're going to do is center. Might be easier to start at the bottom, but I'm going to start at the, well, yeah. These legs, these two outside V legs, go right over the top of the back legs, okay? And I'm also in a moment, because I'm not doing anything 3D, okay? I'm not, you could, if you were going to do something, you could make this into like the 3D and have it stand. I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is on my back pieces here, on this long piece, and then on this bar down here, I'm just going to put just a drop of glue about in the middle, and then the back piece will stick on there. Okay, I'm still getting used to my glue press. I love it. I just have to get used to how much pressure to apply. So basically, there's our easel, and I keep putting my finished picture. Keeps disappearing on me. I keep popping it. What I'm going to do next, before I put um, the white piece on, and I know it has a name. I'm really sorry. I am going on very little sleep, so my apologies. I had to take a trip to my, uh, I just call it my vacation home because pretty much that's what it's become is I had to make a trip to the emergency room overnight, and so I'm just kind of not awake. So sorry about that. Canvas, that's what you would call that. My gosh. Oh, I was trying to explain something to the doctor last night too, or this early this morning, and you'd think I could remember what I was trying to explain to him. It never did come to me. Like, he just kind of laughed and probably understood. One more thing, and I'm just gonna say that's it. But it was funny, but it wasn't. I'm going to try to center this, and it's going to rest on that little lower ledge here, 'cause that's like the ledge that's holding everything, the canvas on the easel. Okay, so I didn't get it real centered, but we're gonna go with it. I always think of a lady that when I can't get things centered that used to make cards. I don't know if she still does. I've lost track of where they moved, and she always used to say, "Well, that's where God wanted it put, so I'm not moving it." And I found that funny. So I'm not perfect. All right, there is one more piece that goes up here, and if you notice, it's a little bit angled, so the longer side goes at the bottom, obviously. And I'll be quiet and keep going. I haven't really talked to too many people in the last week or so, other than seems like doctors, so crazy as it is. I'm going to attempt to put these pieces on the green, and the red. And it's green. Let's see. Oh, it's going to go at an angle. You're just going to kind of put it wherever. Oops. Now this, I'm going to put a little bit of highlighting on before I put any other pieces on. You can kind of put those wherever you want. And I'm just getting my ink. Do a little highlighting. I just washed some brushes and I think I need to do some more. So this may not pick up a lot at first. We'll see. All right, now we're going to do the blue, and then back on my ink here. I hope everybody is doing well. I finally got my Easter treat holders put together. That was surprisingly enough, a couple of months in the process. Not, I didn't work at them full time, but I created all the flowers and I printed all the paper for it. So, I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but it was a lot of fun to do. I hope they're well received. But now I'm getting back into this and I'm going to be working on some uh, Christmas cards. I think I'm going to put this one this way. I'm going to hot foil them and emboss, and I'm not doing a lot of paper piecing on my cards so far for Christmas. That may change. I don't know. And then I want to make some different Christmas. Let's see, what have we got here? I've got to clean my brush up already. But I want to do some Christmas and treat containers. I've got some different ideas for that, some more a little involved than others. I'm gonna try one of these if this looks white enough. So I've got some ideas and things I'm working on. It's just kind of a slow process sometimes when I get sick. So yeah, or not feeling 100%, should we say? Now there is a little tiny dot or drip of paint. I'm leaving that off until I kind of know where I'm centering the bear and such. So I'll put that on, and it's in this stuff somewhere. But now I'm going to do my paintbrush, get him going. And if you did not mark the front and the back of the paintbrush, the black part of the paintbrush, the tip, you're going to want to probably figure out which side is which, because it does have a front and a back, or a right and a left, or because the left side does curve more than the right. And I discovered that without looking. I have my backs marked. I just put a little bit of pencil mark on, but I just wanted to mention that um, it does make a difference. So anyway, there you have it. I don't know that it's going to show a whole lot if you don't catch that, but I just thought I like to point a few things out if I catch it. Now I'm putting the tip on. Now there is a silver part that's going to go on the brush here. Oh shucks, I thought I had everything I wanted. Well, I'm going to use my tweezers for right now. Back to the gray, or you use silver. And you don't have to put it on first. You can put the black on for the paintbrush. And the reason I say that is because when I can find it, the silver part butts right up to the gray. Okay, so, and the wider part goes to the bottom, but it's really nice. It just fits right on there. So nothing overlapping. Just a matter of getting it on there properly. Okay, and I'm looking for another piece of gray, which I know I have all the pieces here, so bear up, there it is, just a little tiny piece. And this piece is, I have to look further. Mm, it's not really curved, it's pretty straight. So, but before I do anything, I want to put a little bit of highlighting on this piece. It just, if you don't always have, like, multiple colors of paper, you can change it by adding white to it, adding a different color. So yeah, I don't think I got too much ink on there. Let me see. Oops. I'm gonna put just a little more. I still don't have enough, but, and also if you wanted this little tiny gray piece darker, you could just add some ink to it all the way around on top, and you would make it darker. So I did that one time. I didn't, years ago, I was making a scrapbook for a friend of mine, and I did not have I didn't have a lot of colors at that time. I didn't have the proper brown that I wanted to make everything. Trying to get some more white on there. I didn't have the proper brown I wanted. So I took white pigment ink and I went over a whole piece of brown and colored it the color I wanted. So yeah, it I'm going to try to that just a little bit lighter. All right, we're going to put that with those pieces. And let's work on the bear. I'm going to start with his eyes. I like to get those put together. Now, for the eyes, I brought in the free set. If you just put, I think eyes or free eyes, I think eyes on the Cuddly Cute Design site, you'll get I don't know if it's six maybe different sets of eyes. I cannot remember. Anyway, this is possibly the second set down. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly. Okay, there's a white that goes with this. You can use, whatever eyes you want. I'm just telling you which ones I chose to use. Let me see. Okay. For some reason I just had it that they weren't. Oops. The way I wanted. Now, I don't always mark my black. Excuse me. Um, the front and the back of my blacks. If it's, now I did this one, but if it's something I can tell I don't, like the noses, quite often I don't need to, and sometimes the eyes I don't. Whites I usually don't. It just varies. I think I just get into a habit of doing it, and excuse me, I just do it all the time. The other thing I don't know if I was going to share with you, I already did it when I was inking, but a trick that I found. One moment. Is sometimes my Cricut just leaves a little hair of a piece of paper, just a little fringe. Well, I just do some uh, pen paper or light emery boards, not the heavy, the thick ones, which is the real thin ones that you can get, Dollar Tree or whatever they're in a pack. I will use those and file off those little edges of the paper. Works wonderful. I don't know if it's just something Cricut has a problem with, or every once in a while it happens, but I just thought I would share with you that that works really well. So, okay, let's get our little guy together. I don't think I'm doing the stitching on the bear that it shows online. If I do, I will do it possibly off camera, because I can show you how I started, but that's a process for me. So, um, I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put his head on. Oops. Keep wanting to grab the ink or the glue that's not open. Okay. And I like to pick up my pieces quite often so I can just kind of get them lined up a little better. And then larger pieces I will quite often burnish down. And then we have these little pieces of the ears that just go in. I wrote left and right because they actually do have a curve that they fit in. Um, they'd probably work either way. I don't know. Just again, habit. So, because I've had it where they don't fit interchangeably between, doesn't matter if you, or excuse me, it can matter if you don't put it on the proper ear, the proper sides. And I guess I'm going to have to do at least the face. I'm going to do the stitching, but I do that before I get the rest of it on. So, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get the body going here a little bit. And I want him, yeah, I want him his head turned quite a bit. And what I do is put ink on here, and I put a little bit of ink glue, excuse me, I'm really out of it. Glue on there so it doesn't flop around so bad. Try to center the two parts of his, like, start of his cheeks, in the middle of his body. At least that's how I do it. Now, what I'm doing is lining his body up here to see if his head is, kind of where I want it. And it is, so I'm good with that. Okay. I use my grid a lot to figure out where I want stuff and get it lined up straight. So I'm sorry if this turns out to be a long video sometimes. Uh, and I did put some of the paint bottles together at least. So I don't want to put these legs up too high because they're going to have feet on them too. And so that takes up some room depending upon how high you put your feet up. So let's see. And I want these matching up at the bottom of my, here, I'm going to move this up some. I want it so they're kind of matching up at the bottom, okay? And then put this one on first. Actually, this leg is going to come on top, so excuse me. I just heard, well, I've been hearing some rumors that we're supposed to have some, uh, or we're supposed to possibly have a snowstorm this weekend. And I keep hearing more and more about that. And I think we've had one, what I would call mini snowstorm. I'm just hoping that they're wrong. Usually we need the moisture, but it's just been so nice without any snow. Okay. Trying to think. I'm going to do the uh, excuse me. I'm going to do the stitching. I honestly just don't know what color I wish to use and such. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of highlighting on first, and then I don't know if I want to use colored pencil or if I want to use marker. I think I'm going to try to go with marker. Okay, I need to do his face also. I'm using Picket Fence by Tim Holtz, the Distress ink. I don't think, I think one of my crafty friends, Deb, she's a hoot because she's always having to correct me because I get things so mixed up. It's funny. But I think that if I remember what she told me, that there is no distress, distress oxide in Picket Fence. And I'm doing it very lightly. It may not, it's showing some, but it's showing a lot more in person than the camera's picking up. But I know quite often she has to correct me on things, and I appreciate it because I don't get out to shop and she does, so it's a good thing that um, I get reminded. Now this is probably the one thing I have yet to find on these markers. They're the macrons, the pigment macrons, but I can't ever find a color. I know it's on the package. So what I'm going to do though is see if this is the color I want and go from there. Or if I'm going to like the color. Yeah, I'm going to go with it because I'm doing something else too. So what I do is take a pencil and mark first. And I try to go very light with my pencil. The reason I say that is because I've got white ink on there, the pencil mark is not going to erase very well. And I don't want, it to have to show. So, or, excuse me. But going over the pencil, or going with the marker over the pencil makes it darker also. Okay. And I really have to concentrate so my pen doesn't take a flying dive wherever it wants. Now my trick on the head is to turn this so the head is straight, okay? And then find on my grid about where center is, which for me is going to be about an inch, coming in at a little bit of a curve, not much, just a slight bit, because keep in mind you want it to give it a little bit of a dimension and shape to make it look more round. So I'm not an artist, that's just my thinking, and that's what I do, and it's probably not right. But hey, okay, now if your marker lines aren't perfect, this once it dries, it might erase some your pencil lines, but my experience has been no. And the reason I do that first is because then when I put this on, it's just marked, for me, so I'm good with it. Okay, gonna do the arm. Let's see, one arm, and that'll be this arm. Excuse me. And again, need to get some white ink on there to highlight it a little bit. I'll be coming back and doing one more thing with this. So on my stitch lines, this I'm gonna go just a hair off of center. Okay, so, and again, I want to curve it with the curve of the arm. Okay, and then there's one more piece, and that's the little paw part there. And I try to, let's see, just a little bit more. Okay, and this too, on this one, I'm actually going to go off to the right, just a smidgen part of middle, and curve just the slightest bit. See if I can get that little spot to come down. Not really, but okay. Now, I don't, yeah, I do. I do have some. I wasn't sure. Since I spilled my bigger chalk container, I'm just working with my little one. I wasn't sure what I had for brown chalk. So, I'm going to take just a little bit, and I know I have my pan pastel one. Maybe that would be better. That brown is a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of harsh. I just don't care for it. I forgot I have my other pan pastels. This is burnt sienna shade, 740.3 from Pan Pastels. Excuse my hands here. I just take a little bit and go over my stitching. Okay, it makes it to me. It just makes it look more distressed, like a distressed, well-loved teddy bear. So you could use a Q-tip, paintbrush to do this. You don't have to do it. It's whatever works for you. Excuse me. All right. If it's a little too dark for you, you know, maybe a lighter ink or not at all is fine. Like I said, the other brown in the other container is using it. It's really almost like a reddish brown. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not. It's good for some things, but not for what I wanted to do for this. Okay, got that all done. And I am going to put, let's see, two of these on. Let's take the blue one. And we're going to put that here, down on his little foot. And again, not on camera because I will make a mess and have to clean it up and it'll take a while. But I will be putting um, on the little paint drip here and on these little, I can't do that one yet, red, on the little paint splotches here. No, just on the paint, the little drop of paint, and on the end of the paintbrush, I'll be putting some glossy accents or something on to make it look wet. These I'm not, and the canvas I'm leaving as it is because I want it to look more dry. So, and this I'm just putting way down on this side back there. And now the one with the stitching is going to go here, and I don't want to do anything yet until I'm ready to put the paintbrush on. But, and the other arm too. We're going to work on the face now. I think I can find everything. I'm going to put his blush on his cheeks first. And what I do is just grab some ink up there. I'm going to just brush it off a little bit because, well, yeah, I was pretty dark. And I'm just barely touching the brush, okay, to the paper because I can always add more. That's going to be quite a bit as it is. And I try to kind of go in a round circular motion. That was pretty redundant, sorry. In a round, a little bit of a round motion, just do it. Okay, if I want more, I'll add more later, but as of right now, I'm just going to leave it. Excuse my reach. And we're going to put this in here. We're going to just let it sit. His eyes, I'm going to make sure that the little bit longer piece is going to the outside. And I just eyeball where I want them to go. The other pieces will notch up sometimes with the nose. Not so much on this one, that's fine. But let's pick this up a little bit. I put a little bit of an angle. Okay. And this one, again, the little bit straighter piece is going to the outside. And get a decent hold on the eye. I want to try to get them somewhat the same length apart from the center. Even though they're different here, it's just the way the head is tilted and shaping, so it's fine. Okay, and then I try to get them about the same height across at the top, which they're not perfect, they're not perfect. Right, so in with the pan pastels. It does not normally take me quite this long to do a paper piece, but when I'm on camera, yeah, I'm pretty slow. And, oh, that's right. Didn't get it out yet. The other reason I try to be more careful is because I do have white ink down. It's harder to erase the pan pastels, so I'd like to blow those off a little bit if I can remember. Um, so I try to do it so I don't get chalk everywhere from the pan pastels. And I feel like I'm being redundant telling you some of this. I apologize. Uh, Sometimes when you have new subscribers, it's some stuff is repeated. And before I forget, I want to welcome my new subscribers and welcome back to all my returning subscribers. I've had some amazing comments and support, and you guys, I appreciate it so much. Okay, let's see. I don't know if that's going to get covered up or what it is, so excuse me, get it out of there. I like to get my pan pastels, especially the black, covered up right away because even though there's very little dust, sometimes they do tend to go everywhere I don't want them. To outline the eyes, I use either a 02 or a 05. Depends upon the size of the particular piece I'm working on. Normally, if my head is about 2 inches or smaller, I've been going with a 02 pen to do my outlining. If it's larger, if the head is larger in width for some reason, then I usually go to 05. So, and then I use the 005 for the eyelashes. Everybody has a different way of doing eyelashes, so, work with what works for you. I probably will never ever learn to do curved eyelashes. It's just, it's not in my wrists to do so. And I have practiced so many times and I just give up. And I think they just look horrendous with until I get my whites in my eyes and stuff in. These guys, I'm just doing straight brows. And I first started doing eyebrows when I years ago did some Marjorie Ann Designs pieces before I was on the design team for her. And I actually cut those little pieces out of paper. I thought this was crazy. So I started using a pen instead and works much better. And so I started doing them on my other ones. And since I have some chalk left on here, I'm just coming in with my brown chalk and going over my eyebrows. Makes them a little darker. Here's a tip for you guys. I just learned this, and you probably know this. I'm not sure. I was looking for something recently, came across some white gel pens that I've had for, let's just say, several years before I sold my house, in fact. And I was discussing white gel pens and stuff and why some are brighter and things. Well, to make a long story short, I started searching. And this is a jelly roll, okay, a Sakura. This is a Uniball, as you can see, and they both have great purposes. But Uniball have different numbers on the pens, and it makes a difference. I have another one, and I'm not going to bring it out because I'll have to search for it. But this is the Uniball Signo UM as in Mary 153. The other one is a 128 or something like that. I'm not sure. Um, this has a much brighter white to it. Now, before I do that, I don't want my little, I gotta make sure this is working first of all. I don't want the little lines on my eyes quite so bright, but you'll be able to see a difference, I believe. And honestly, I just came across this by accident. And like I said, started doing some research on the pens and was amazed the difference. Truly was. Let's just do a little. Again, I don't want these to be near as bright, okay? Now I'm using the Uniball and watch, it won't come out properly for me. But the day I tried it, the other day, it worked great. Yeah, I have to come back and make this line just a little bit longer. I'm really hoping you can, oh, I can see it on camera. I'm really hoping you can see what I'm trying to explain to you. But do you see the difference in the brightness on the two whites? Again, complete accident that this I found this. I'm not kidding. It was crazy. But I'm gonna let the white dry because it will take that the signal takes a little bit longer to dry. So that's the only thing I want to just point out. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. I had even let's see, what did I purchase? I can't remember. I maybe I didn't yet. I decided not to. I think that's what it ended up being. I was going to get some different like a paint pen or something for brighter white in the eyes. Well, lo and behold, I didn't have to. It was crazy. And if you guys already know that, well, you needed a laugh today, right? Okay. I'm not doing anything on the white on the nose because I'm going to put glitter on his nose. He's a little paint guy. He needs that. I'm not doing the highlights in his face either because right now, if I do that, I'm going to use the signal because it'll um, give it a brighter, but I'll have white everywhere. Trust me. Uh, oh, I'm going to do the whites of his eyes. Just kind of going in a circle there. Oval, I'm not sure what we would call it. And again, going pretty light because I'm not sure how much ink is on my little tool here. So I like my pan pastels, don't get me wrong. I have more control with the picket fence ink, so that's why I like it better. Okay, believe it or not, we're just about ready to get this going. We're gonna put this at a little less of an angle, and I'm not putting ink. What is it with ink today? I'm not putting glue all the way to the bottom, okay? I'm just putting it about half or so because I have to put the paintbrush underneath. And I'm also tucking up his arm underneath his cheek right there, okay? Excuse my reach. Gonna come in and grab here's white. Let's do a little bit of highlighting first. And kind of see, okay. And I'm just going to put some glue for right now in that little area. I'm not going to go all the way toward the top. This is going to go, yeah, it's not going anywhere by his cheek or anything. Get this glue off of there. Oh, shoot. Well, we're going to go with that. I'm going to come back. Glue on here. Just here. And this, we're going to come up a little bit. Yeah, about here. And just glue on the edge back part, and I will some glue on this part when I figure out where he's going. He's a little cutie. I have a great niece that loves to paint. Well, my great nephew does too. It's the two youngest ones. They love anything artistic. But I have a picture of her at her grandmother's, my great niece at her grandmother's, painting pictures, and it's just a fun picture. So I thought this would be a really cute piece for it. I think this isn't far enough back yet, based on the paw. Yeah, I wanted the paw a little bit more on the paintbrush, and I could have cut the paw off also, just to, let's see, I think it's here. It's going, made it shorter, but that's okay. We were good. Doesn't have to be exact, folks. Okay, got this. Now we need to put some more pieces on. This up here, I did change it to, it's blue on the design. I changed it to orange because it's from a previous painting that he did. And my niece, great niece, should say, she does not, she's kind of like me. She doesn't have a specific color that she likes. She likes all color. Does not matter. So, clean this up a little bit at the tip. Now, when you want it to work, it won't properly, right? Well, let's see. I'm gonna go with it. I'm not putting one on the other side because it's gonna get covered up with the paint splotch anyway. I just think this is precious. Very happy with it. And I don't say that very often about my pieces, but every now and then something comes together. All right, we got this, we got this. Now I'm going to bring in this little paint drop and put it here, and then I will I'm sorry, I know I can put it on my skin, but I try not to get much adhesive on my skin. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Let's see, gonna put it down here. I'll just position the paintbrush and the bear to fit, and if it's not exact, it's fine. It's dripping from the brush anyway. Okay. And let's get the paint cans together. I have all but one left. I've got the rest put together. My little bag in here. Thought we could just do one together because obviously they're all the same. So you've got the jar, the bigger part of the lid. So you want to put the darker piece on first. I should move that glue every time grabbing it. Okay, and that. And what I did on the lettering, I had the Cricut write it. I think I used a 02 Macron pen. I don't remember if it was 02 or 05 in black. And then I just went with the 05 pen and filled in the lettering because these are only not even an inch wide. So imagine how small the letters would be. No, thank you. I'm not cutting them out of paper. I do that quite often. I just use the pen. Use a color pencil, or a marker to fill it in. Okay, and that's it. And then you have the little pieces that'll be going with it. So let me try to get this all together for you so you can see an idea of what it looks like. Get it down a little bit. But all in frame. I'm so close and I don't want to try to zoom out, so give you somewhat of an idea. And then we've got I'll put these up here. As if you couldn't figure it out, but anyway. Okay, that is the finished piece. So if you have any questions, I would love it if you would leave an answer, a question, a comment. Yes, I'm with the program today. I'm sorry, I'm going back to sleep. I will be putting, what do I want to say? Glitter, glossy accents on those two little pieces, and I think that'll be about it. I am going to quick do his mouth. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome day, everybody, and happy crafting. Take care.